I love you too, baby. Yes, I want to spend my life with you. Her body was burning as hot as volcanic lava, and the only one who could save her was the man in her arms. She clung tightly to the cold, marble-like skin, her body eventually making her give up all resistance. The pain was accompanied by an unknown pleasure slowly rising bit by bit, like a firework display going off in her mind, making her feel like a lone boat sailing in a sea of fire. The emotions mapping a crescendo, then sinking steadily, she found it hard to resist herself. Hey, wake up. It's freezing here. You'll catch a cold. The pressure on her shoulders awoke her abruptly. Her disoriented gaze met with a cornered pair of eyes. It was one of the fellow passengers. In an instant, her guilty conscience made her face blush. She wished she could crawl into a hole as she avoided the man's gaze. It had been 8 weeks since the last time she'd visited her doctor for a routine health checkup, and that's when she was made aware of her predicament. How can you not know that you are pregnant? She could still hear the doctor's words ringing in her ears like it was yesterday. You are almost 7 weeks pregnant now. Do you intend to inform the father of the baby? The nurse had asked with a concerned look, while the doctor was busy printing her reports. When the time comes, yes, I will. Being pregnant did not come out as a shock for her earlier, but something about this felt right. It felt good. Maybe because the baby was Shane's. Shane Scott had been the man of Natalie's dreams since childhood, and she would do anything to spend her life with him. For Shane's sake, Natalie had decided to let go of her dream of pursuing a career in acting. She started preparing for SATs to be in the same university as Shane. She had been working day and night to ace the test, missing out on her drama classes as well. Natalie's mind was flooded with at least 1,000 thoughts right now. I cannot wait to finally tell him the news. What will he say? How will he react? Will he take me into his arms after this? What will I do? How will we manage? On her way to Shane's house, Natalie was overwhelmed with feelings. She had waited for months to tell Shane, and today was the day she finally will break the news to him. Shane had been busy with his university, but now that he was in town, Natalie couldn't wait anymore. Damn. Although it has already been such a long time after that one drunken night, Shane kept appearing in her dreams from time to time. Thanks to being drunk to the point of unconsciousness, she did not have much memory of that night. Otherwise, she would not know how to face Shane. Daddy, come here. Look there. It's an airplane. A child pointing out of the window in the adjacent seat broke Natalie's train of thoughts. She could not help but adore the father-son duo looking at each other lovingly. I am sure Shane will be a really good father. He will love both of us. What do you think, my little munchkin? Natalie started talking to her belly, caressing her cute baby bump. It was almost noon when she reached her destination. After gulping down an entire bottle of water, Natalie started walking down to the main street, which was hardly a few minutes away from the station. She wanted to give Shane a surprise. Natalie finally reached Scott's residence. Her fingers lingered on the nameplate, elegantly written on a golden plate, the Scotts. She was certain that from this moment, her life would change forever. Natalie pressed the doorbell, waiting for Shane to open the door and smile at her, when she saw something that sent chills down her spine. A beautiful girl standing at the door. She was wearing a red dress, looking gorgeous. Her one hand was holding the doorknob while she was frantically trying to put something into her bag with the other. Wait, was that Shane's favorite blue shirt? The one Natalie gifted him on his birthday. The girl flipped her long, wavy hair, trying to show the marks Shane had given her. Her loose, wavy hair hung around her shoulders. Yes, may I help you? The girl asked politely. Nora, what the fuck are you doing here? Where is Shane? Why? Do you want to talk to him? Yes. Natalie wanted to erase this one scene from her head, but What do you want to talk to him about? That baby in your womb? Nora's words punched Natalie right in her face. She was looking for answers. What was her sister doing at Shane's house? What was she doing with his shirt that Natalie gifted him? And most importantly, where is Shane? Before you start dreaming, let me tell you, bitch, that the baby is not Shane's, Nora said, piercing a hole in Natalie's heart as if what she was going through was not enough. Nora, are you crazy? Nora Brown looked at her, laughing with crossed arms, as if strutting on the catwalk. She swayed as she walked until she stood in front of Natalie. What? Scared that I'll kill the bastard in your stomach? Natalie subconsciously protected her abdomen. Taking a step back, she looked at Nora warily. Nora, don't you go too far. Despite knowing that Nora had always been at loggerheads with her, Natalie had not thought that she could speak such vicious words. Going too far? You're the one who went too far. After getting drunk and doing it with some wild man and getting pregnant. Then trying to make Shane become a father. But, Natalie, aren't you a little mean bitch? Natalie froze. What are you even saying? Hey, don't tell me you really believe that the man who slept with you that night was Shane? Nora laughed before leaning back. Saying that you grew up with Shane since you were kids with every other sentence. Saying that you were childhood sweethearts. And you don't even know what his figure is like? Natalie grew pale as she listened. Despite standing under intense sunlight, her whole body felt cold. Yes, the man from that night. She had only thought Shane was fitter than she had imagined after growing up. Now, with Nora's malicious reminder, she then suddenly recalled that, other than the body, the man from that night was indeed very different from Shane. Natalie's entire world came crashing down. She wanted to scream and cry her heart out. Nora continued. Let me tell you the whole story. That night you drank the wine that I added a little something to, and out of goodwill, I found 2 brawny men for you so that you could fully satisfy your desire. Who knew that you would be so insensible? You actually entered some wild man's room. Nora's tone was full of disgust, and she said, Shane is too kind-hearted. He was afraid that you wouldn't be able to accept the truth, so he said that it was him that night. You. Natalie was trembling with anger. Listening to the words she said, Natalie could no longer hold back and grabbed Nora's wrist. Why would you do that to me? Why? Haven't you harmed me enough? What's going on? Natalie heard his voice. Shane?